When you are on your period, pregnant, after pregnancy, postpartum, you are highly psychic. And if you are, well, I believe everybody is empathic, but you are highly empathic, which makes you really sensitive to other people's energies. So you are basically like a sponge, and you are taking on people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and you feel like it's your own. So you feel like you are losing your shit. Well, say if you are going through postpartum really bad after you have a baby, and they start giving you meds for, antidepressants and stuff like that. Those things lower your vibration terribly. But because you are like an open sponge to energy, that means you are also an open sponge to low vibrational energies that are not in this realm. So that means for women who start to hear voices or even hear voices that tell them to do bad things, those are spirits that they are hearing. And because of the meds or even just vibrating low, when you vibrate low like that, they just attach to you, where you struggle even more. And some indigenous tribes, and especially in ancient times, women were looked at as these sacred divine beings, and especially during these times, especially the ones who had their cycle on the full moon. They would completely leave them alone and let them have their sacred time. So, like, I have had visions of a past life where I lived during this time. And it was actually in Atlanta. Like when I first saw this vision, I didn't know where it was, and I was led to the land by my ancestors of where this was, and everything that I saw in the vision, which is just the memories that you're shown. Um, it's just like going back to an old neighborhood, and you subconsciously just know the makeup of the land, know the makeup of the neighborhood. But during my cycle, I would float in the nearby river under the full moon, and my tribe would be dancing around the fire, playing the drums, celebrating me. But celebrating me while I'm off in the river doing my spiritual bath, floating. And now what's crazy is I had these visions on a high dose of psychedelics, and I was already having these visions in meditation, but in the meditation I didn't know what I was seeing. It was when I took the high dose where like the whole movie scene came together. Like if you've ever seen Mummy, the Mummy 2, the second one, where she was on the ship flying in the sky, I think it was, and she would like almost her breath was taken away, and the vision was playing in her head like almost like a movie. Anytime this has happened to me quite a few times, and anytime it does, it's always like a and you're seeing the past life, or whatever it is that you're seeing. But like I was saying, I was being, what word did I use? Not worshipped, but celebrated. That was the word that I used. I was being celebrated. Like them dancing around the fire and playing the drums was raising the vibrations of that tribe, the whole land. And so when we would be on our periods or having babies, or after having babies. This is how we knew what plants healed what, like the ancestors, and even not just the ancestors, but the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. Like, these are actual spirits that communicate with um, humans to teach them how to heal themselves, and other things like that. So if you begin to celebrate your own self during these times, and even because what also happens is everything that you've ever suppressed is coming to surface during these times too. So that's a lot. So you have to take time off if you can, or just treat yourself better, cater to yourself better, treat yourself like like you would just an infant baby during this time. And you do your spiritual baths. You can look up how to do a spiritual bath. I have posted on my page here how to do spiritual baths. I can repost it again, just for this video. And lots and lots of rest and meditation. Meditation is your superpower. I cannot stress this enough. Meditation is your superpower. Meditation is what teaches you what's your feelings and thoughts, and what are other people's feelings and thoughts. When you're sitting by yourself with yourself, you get to know yourself and your energy better. So that way, when you get around other people, you know this is not your energy. And you can then tell yourself and teach yourself, like, oh, this is not my energy. I release this. As women, as mothers, even if you're not a mother, you don't have children, you're still mothers of this earth, mothers of this planet, mothers of the people around you. And you still have periods, even if you don't have periods anymore, even if you've had hysterectomies, you still have to treat your body, because your body knows that it had a uterus if you have had a hysterectomy. So you still have to treat your body during these cycles that you have as if you still have this uterus. So during the full moon, and you can just begin this practice during a full moon of self care, like the most self care that you can think of. Lots of rest, no social media, no socializing with other people, really getting to spend this time alone with yourself to get to know yourself, to get to know the good, bad, and the ugly. Because the most ugly parts of you, the ugly parts that you think you have, is really the most beautiful. And you can't get to know that about yourself until you start spending alone time with yourself. And alone, some maybe even alone in the dark. Like, one meditation you can do is a candlelight meditation, which is just meditating in the dark with the candle and staring at it until your eyes hurt. It's gonna hurt a little bit. When your eyes begin to hurt and you can't take it anymore, you close your eyes and you roll your eyes up as if you're looking at your third eye. And you do that. When you do that, you can still see the flame. So when you do that, the flame is like up here. And when you can't take that anymore, because that'll begin to hurt as well. And you release and you let go and you just be. By that time, 10-15 minutes would have passed, and you have no idea that that much time has passed. But you'll be feeling so good and amazing. This meditation also pops open your third eye. So if you do that, it's so good to ground yourself. You have to ground yourself. Put your feet in the grass as often as possible, because you'll be all over the place. Anyway, peace, love, and light. If you need any coaching or guidance about things like this, or about your spirituality, anything, my next Reiki class is September 20th and 27th. You can sign up on my website, or you can inbox me, ask whatever questions you have, and I would be happy to answer. Peace, love, and light.